Hey everybody, I am so excited to have you here today on Patty Larson Purely Paranormal. I have a very special guest for Whatever Wednesday. Her name is Valerie Bellamy. She's the owner of Dog Ear Book Design. She created the beautiful clone covers for the Clone Chronicles, as well as the Best Friends Forever cover, which I absolutely adore. She's also the creator of the Blinking Sassafras cat for Sass from the Cat, as well as the Shimmery Eye for the new Family Magic cover. So Valerie does all my design work, interiors, my banners, my postcards, all of those things. She's very super talented, and she really has her finger on the pulse of what's going on in self-publishing right now, especially for indies. So she wants to talk to you today about the importance of the visuals of the covers. Valerie, I'm so happy to have you here. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me. I'm really, really excited to be here for Whatever Wednesday on www.pattylarson.com. Fabulous, fabulous website, I must say. And thank you for having me. I am very passionate when it comes to packaging design, regardless of product. But today's product we're going to talk about is your manuscript, and you've poured your heart and soul into this manuscript, and now it's time to actually have it sell. Well, you've got a daunting task ahead of you. It can be done, but you really need to surround yourself with some really talented people. I want you to think about the cereal aisle in a grocery store for a second. Usually about 100 feet long and full of cereal, with each packaging very different and vying for your attention to look closer at it, maybe read the nutritional label and make that purchase. Your book is no different. Unfortunately, your customers judge your book by its cover. Doesn't matter whether you're in the bookstore, independent, or big box, or you're on the Amazon page, the Goodreads page, the Smashwords page, Barnes & Noble, etc., etc., etc. You have seconds to make that connection with your potential customer. And all your cover really, really needs to do is to entice them enough to pick it up or look inside or read the back. That's what you're trying to do. So it's really, really important that you have an image that grabs your target market's attention, resonates with them, and makes them consider purchasing your product. Now, there's a lot of ways to do that, and good design will vary from genre to genre, and it will vary also pretty differently whether the majority of your sales are coming from e-sales, so you're designing for the Amazon search page, or whether the majority of your sales is going to come from the bookstore environment. And that's probably a topic for another day.
Yeah, because that's a big topic too.
It is a big topic. I have a visual demonstration of the importance of the cover, and it doesn't come from the fiction realm. It actually comes from nonfiction. I'm a bit of a collector of businesses. I have 2 right now. So I read a lot of business books, and I'm currently reading 2 different ones. They're the same, basically they're the same book. It's about small businesses and startups. It's advice from people who've done it before you. So it's basically the same topic. There's really only two real differences between these books. One, the way that it's handled. The first one, it handles it in snippets, and it's more of a curated collection of quotes from small business owners across Canada. And they're all categorized in different topics. The other one dives a little bit more deeply, tells you a little bit more about the topic, and uses one Atlantic Canadian company as an example. The first one, it talks about Just Us Coffee, which some of you might be familiar with, and talking about how to monetize something that is also charitable. Anyway, both great books, both really, really useful to the business person, and they have 2 very, very different covers. So I'm going to show them both to you, and then Patty, I'm going to ask you to tell me which one you would buy, because you're a businesswoman as well. Okay, so book number 1 is What Would Harold Do?
That's awesome.
So Harold is the everyman of small business across Canada, and Harold gives us many, many, many quotes about different topics when it comes to small business.
Right.
And it's really full cover interior, and it's just really, really fun.
It's a really awesome
Very,
cover.
and it is awesome. I love this
Yeah,
cover.
it's very
because,
eye-catching.
you know, the bull staring down the
Yeah.
poor small business guy, and
And
he's
the
wondering what the
red
hell he's doing.
briefcase really stands out, and the little torn off page in the corner with advice. It's a beautiful cover. It's really cool.
It is actually really, really good. Then we have book number 2, and actually I just started reading this the other night, and honestly, this is a great book if you're interested in business, and it really doesn't matter the size. It applies whether you're a solopreneur like I am, right up to, you know, large corporation. It's written really, really well. It's incredibly accessible. It's not dry. I love the tone, and it's got some humor in it as well. But you would never know that by it.
Oh no. That's atrocious. Oh, what a shame. Seriously, that's just not good. That looks like a dry, boring business. It looks like something you would get at university. You know what I mean? Like or you know, something you're forced to read in high school.
Yeah, published by
Wow.
School of Business at St. Mary's University here in Halifax. But if you get interested in business topics and you get a chance to pick up this book, I highly recommend it because it's actually, once you get past this cover, it's amazing. So I think I already know your answer, Patty, but which one would you buy? Would you buy Harold?
I would buy Harold for sure. And that's a shame, right? Isn't that the problem? The fact that, you know, one is the better book, but the other one is more appealing because it's more attractive.
I think, you know, you can have amazing content. And it doesn't matter really what your content is, whether it's fiction or nonfiction or a recipe book or, you know, children's literature, whatever. But if you put a crappy cover on it, and to the cover designer, I think you were sort of stuck with this. I have a long series of books by the Sobey School of Business, and I apologize to all the Sobey School of Business, but sorry, this
They're
is a
terrible.
very general. And if I saw this in either arena to purchase it, I wouldn't have picked up and read the back.
Why did you buy it?
I actually was given this book.
Oh. See, there's a great explanation for that, right? Yeah. But even so, did it take you a long time to read it, even though it was a gift to you?
Honestly, the only reason why I started reading it was because we were going to have this chat.
Wow.
Content was. That's how off-putting I found the cover. Yeah.
So that says a lot.
It looks like a thesis, honestly.
Absolutely.
And if you're not into reading theses, you know, of your subject of passion, then
And so interesting because you're a businesswoman and it's a book on business and you had no desire to read it.
none. It sat on my bookshelf for a year and a half.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing.
So,
Okay.
in your face example is about the importance of a really good cover and how it can really make a decision in your favor or not. It is unfortunate. I know that the old adage is don't judge a book by its cover, but in this day and age, so much choice. There's no other way for a consumer to weed through tens of thousands and sometimes hundreds. They have to do it somehow, and usually going through covers and looking at something that pulls, that's usually the done. Nobody's got the time to sit down and go through page after page after page after page of results.
No, very true. So that means our next get together on whatever Wednesday will be about understanding design elements and what makes a cover attractive.
Oh, that's a
So now we know what doesn't and how important it is. This series is going to be about how to not only understand what doesn't work, but to pick out those elements that might appeal to your genre or to the eye to really grab your attention. So Valerie, I want to thank you so much for being here today. That was a really fantastic example. I hope that St. Mary's University watches this and, and takes it that they need to change how the book looks. Uh, do you have any more?
Sorry, but there's kudos to go out to
Yes.
Canada's credit unions because they're the folks who published this book.
Yeah, and it's fantastic. So
They
do you have
loved
any parting words for us today?
I think that, if you're serious about making sales and making being an author your livelihood, that you do have to stop and think about the investment that you're putting into your packaging. And it is an investment. Designers will vary by talent, they'll vary by genre, and they'll vary by price. You got to find someone that you resonate with, that you can really work well with, because you are your creative director. It's your baby. You need to be in control. Somebody needs to do what you basically tell them to do.
Yeah.
Or they need to come to the table with great options. If you're not sure which way to go, then you need to find someone who's familiar with your genre and can come up with different options for you that will sell. Because at the end of the day, if you don't sell books, then you probably won't be creating another one, and you won't need a second cover.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So our job as cover designers is to make sure that we give you the best possible packaging to optimize that chance of a sale.
And really the best person to design a book for you is not you. Anyway, that's a discussion for another time, I think. Okay, so
I agree with that.
so we'll welcome Valerie back on another Whatever Wednesday, but for today, thank you very much for being here, for the great talk, and everybody have a purely paranormal Wednesday.